Well, welcome to this podcast today. It's part of a series for leadership, team, communication. So yes, it's all about people. It's about you as a leader. Obviously, you influence your whole business, whether you're the CEO of a large organisation or it's a small organisation. We influence the people around us. And when we're leading a business, we're leading people. So what happens when the people start leading themselves? So that's pretty much the aim that we have. And this happens when we facilitate a couple of things. In the last episode, we talked about a couple of areas for you and your mindset as a leader and how that can change the valuation of the person. So how you can actually bring value to your people and what that will mean. In today's topic, we're going to introduce EET DERT. Now, EET DERT is a conversational structure. It becomes organic in your business, but it's a way to talk with your people. And we're going to talk about what it means to have a conversational structure or system and a few points to consider. When we have a look at statistics about communication, looking up McKinsey statistics, it says production can increase up to 20 or 25%. Now, that's just an average. It could be much more. It's dependent on how engaged your people are. And how do you engage people? You truly engage them by a conversation. How many businesses in the last 40 years have I met that have a conversational structure? Not one. I haven't met a conversational structure being used in any of the businesses that I've been involved with. They may have scripts, they may have ways of doing things, they may have systems, processes and things like that, and that's great. We need to have those things, but it's in the actual conversation and how we talk to the people, how we listen to the people, how we ask the questions, and how we bring them into a point where they're okay and they know that they're valued and important in the process that really is going to make the difference to your business. Salesforce did a survey and they found out that there was an 86% failure rate due to poor communication. That was the feedback from the employees and the leaders. That's 86% of failure because of communication. But how many companies are putting some time and effort into setting up a conversational strategy or structure? Very few. So what's it going to mean to your business? Now, you can do this or you can leave it. Quite often, I'll see someone come along years later and ask them what's happened, and they'll say, well, we've got more business. I said, so what's happened with your life and what about your people? No, we're still stressed. I'm on the tools a lot. There's people leaving. We're finding it just impossible to find anyone. We all know the same scenario. It's hard to find people at the moment. So what are you doing about that? I mean, you can't wave a wand and just bring in the right person immediately. But if we don't start doing something about it now, it'll be 6 months or 12 months' time when you could be asking yourself again, how do I bring people into the business? So we need to start setting this up now so that the culture in the business is something that other people want to look at. We want to look at just employee valuation propositions to attract people in. But prior to that, we need to set up the culture within our business so that the values are real, the culture is real, the people that are in the business are aligned to your values and they've had an engagement into those values. So today I just want to talk about a conversational structure called EET DERT. It took 30 to 40 years to bring this into a place of business. It had been used by myself, it had been used by others outside of business, but the relevance in the business has been significant. The changes to lives, the changes to communications and relationships has been substantial. And it's not rocket science. In our approach, we look to do things that are easy. Easy. All we need to do is practice them. So what's a conversation? It's the way we all communicate. People, families, business, clients. So if we get better at communication, what do you think it's going to do for you and your people and your business? What will it mean? Interpersonal skills are very low in most companies that I've researched, and most don't have any conversational structures, as I've said. But what if you did? Well, when you look at the companies that are flying, and having a look at the interpersonal skills and how that relates to their retention of their people and the attraction of new people and the building of their whole game, it's significant. If you look up the statistics for yourself, it'll be better than listening to me just telling you what I believe. It's true. The statistics for engaging with interpersonal skills is very high, highly favoured, highly valued, highly wanted in each business. It's a matter of whether you'll put some effort in and some time in to this area of people. So there's a few years work here, and there's a few points which I'm excited to share you. One point is a good talk with a structure gives a consistent way to change behaviours. So a behaviour in a person won't change overnight. Often when we go up to them with this new structure that we've learnt, they may wonder, what's going on? What are you trying to get out of me? What's coming? All that type of thing. So it takes a little while before they'll trust you. If you haven't been using, let's say, the EET DERT structure or a structure of conversation, it'll take a while. And I can understand that coming from the point of view of the employee. I've been an employee and I've seen people turn around and then wham, bam, here comes a pay drop or some change to the hours or something like that. So it's an expectation in someone's mind. But when we get into good conversations, they start to trust you. You'll see what happens. I had one client who does manufacturing of blinds and awnings, and she's a general manager. Really had a struggle with one of the workers. That's a man, she's a woman, and did not want to have this conversation because he basically hated her and was going to rip shreds off her. But she had to have that conversation, and in that conversation, he bounced out of that office saying, "This is the best conversation I've ever had. When can we have another one?" Not only that, he went out to his workplace, and a day or so later, he came back with a couple of ideas of how to improve the area that he's working in. So how's that for a turnaround? Not only did it turn around the business area, it also turned around her family life because she was thinking differently. This has an organic happening. So as we venture further into this simple conversational structure, it starts opening up your RAS, which is your reticular activation system. It's just a fancy word for, if you're driving a pink BMW today, well, thinking that you're the only one, all of a sudden you're going to start seeing pink BMWs. What does that mean? Well, it means they're always there. It's just that, we can't put everything into our mind. We'd blow up. So when you start looking at conversations and things like that, things will start opening up to you organically, and you can turn the structural conversation into your own language and your own way of doing it. There's more to this than meets the eye, and the outcomes and the benefits are way past what you can imagine. So point 2, a conversational structure provides leaders with a way to feel more comfortable with employees. How many leaders feel uncomfortable in approaching an employee? Most feel very uncomfortable, especially if the employee has some sort of a problem or an issue. And look, we're not counsellors. We're not going to be perfect at this, but if we can learn some skills, how's that going to go for the leader approaching someone? If their confidence is up because they learnt a skill and they've practiced that skill, it becomes an opportunity when someone's got a problem to be able to help that person to turn it around. And in doing that, what's that going to show the employee? It's going to show them that you actually, or the leader actually values them, finds them important enough to be able to do that amount of time with them to help them to gain a better behaviour, better feeling, better position. It makes sense. It makes sense. People need conversational structure. So point 3, a good conversational structure will help remove the stress from the owners and the leaders. But how? Well, a good conversational structure means that they feel like they're part of the business. The employees will feel like they're important. They'll feel like they're valued. So they're less likely to be causing stress. They're more likely to be doing their work and looking for areas to help. Areas which will put a smile on the leader's face, because the leader and the employee now have a relationship and they're working together. It's an us situation. It's an us team. It's a family type of approach, and it can be put into units. It can be put into the whole company, where it can be all joined together in this. So a good conversational structure will help remove the stress from the owners and the leaders, freeing up time to be more effective in other areas, time to have time off, time because there's less stress in having to remanage or overmanage someone, and there's more profits because the efficiencies have lifted up, and that means that there's going to be the need for less employees, and jobs can be won because the employees are vigilant at what they do, they're efficient at what they do, and your company, when it's set up with the right culture and conversational structures, will start attracting people into your business because you'll set up your employee evaluation proposition in line with who you are. And so when an employee brings their skills, you'll be offering them your values, and the two will match and align with the rest of the people in your business. So you've got an organic, growing business that's enjoyable, bringing change to not only the people in the business, but to your clients, to your suppliers, to your families tonight. Is that a good thing? So what's it mean to have a structure, a good structure? It means a lot. We all need it. All companies need this. People need this. And together we can grow. I hope that's encouraged you to spend some time, some effort in learning a conversational structure. I believe EET DERT is the most valuable conversational structure that I have ever seen. The changes of lives is enormous. The changes in business is enormous. If you will use it, if you will just reach out, learn how to do this, spend a little bit of time and effort, it'll change your business, it'll change your life, and it'll change the enjoyment of what you're doing.